Okay, today we're going to make a vegan Thanksgiving dinner. I'm going to start by boiling some cranberries. The instructions are on the package. Pretty straightforward. You put 1 cup of water and 1 cup of sugar into the saucepan. I'm going to reduce the amount of sugar. I'm only going to put in about 3/4 of a cup. I'm going to put in about maybe a teaspoon of vanilla extract, maybe half a teaspoon, mix it in. Put it on the stove and bring it to a boil. Once it's boiling, we're going to add in the cranberries. They're frozen. We're going to bring it back to a boil. Once it starts to boil, we'll turn it down, let it simmer for about 15 minutes or so. Stirring occasionally. We're going to turn off the heat, remove it from the heat, and let it cool down, and then we'll transfer it to our fridge once it cools down all the way. And then next, we're going to start this Gardein roast. This is not a paid promotion, it's just what I'm using for our Thanksgiving dinner. Pretty simple and straightforward. You get the roast and 2 packages of gravy. So you'll start by removing the roast from the plastic packaging and place it in a Pyrex pan that's oven safe, and then cover it with some tin foil, aluminum foil. And set the gravy pouches aside for now. And there's instructions on the box. We preheat it to 325 and cook it for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. And then we'll take it out of the oven, remove the cover, and bake it for another 20 minutes. And then it should be good to go. Pretty easy. Next, I'm going to take a can of green beans and I'm going to start simmering them about maybe 20 minutes before the roast is done. So I'll just sit on the stove for now. Next step, I'm going to wash and peel several russet potatoes to make mashed potatoes. I've never seen a potato with a belly button before. I like to make my mashed potatoes in the Instapot. It's a pressure cooker. I find it's quicker, easier. But you can also boil the potatoes on the stove. Just takes a little bit longer. I'm going to use some vegetable broth. Put about 1 inch in the pressure cooker pot. Just going to chop the potatoes up into big chunks, and I'll season it with salt and pepper and garlic salt. Pretty simple. Put it in the Instapot. Lock the lid in place, and we'll steam it on high for about 10 minutes. Now for the 2 packets of gravy, we're just going to dump them into a saucepan and gently simmer them on low on the stove, stirring occasionally. Okay, now we're going to make some homemade biscuits. This is just unbleached all-purpose flour. I'm going to take 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Need a little bit more there. About 2.5 cups. I'm going to add just maybe about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And about, I'd say, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and mix those together. This is regular baking powder. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon, another tablespoon, so a total of 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And this is optional. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed, but you can omit that if you don't want to use that. This is regular vegan butter. That's about 3 small teaspoons of the vegan butter, and it's soft, but it's not melted. And this is regular vanilla almond milk. I'm going to add 1 cup of that to the mix, and some apple cider vinegar. Say a teaspoonful. Gently mix it together. We're making a bread dough here, so you want it to be kind of crumbly and flaky and thick. You don't want it to be too wet and sloppy. And I found with this, you don't have to put it in the refrigerator and let it firm up. I find you can use it as is. Get a bigger mixing spoon. And then we'll put these biscuits on a cookie sheet or baking sheet that I'm going to line with parchment paper that's oven safe. And we'll cook it right alongside the roast while the roast is cooking in the oven. I think I got room on the bottom shelf below the roast for the cookie sheet. And depending on how big you make your biscuits, I want to say this yields about 9 to 12 biscuits. You can see how it's kind of crumbly and thick. It's kind of like a bread dough, if you will. Pretty easy. So now I got my baking tray here lined with parchment paper. I'm just going to gently roll these biscuits by hand and place them on the baking sheet, evenly spaced. Again, I'm not smashing them down real tight or anything, just kind of loosely balling them up. And then we'll, like I said, we'll stick these in the oven on the bottom shelf below the roast. And I'll check them in about 10 or 12 minutes and see how they look. Going for just a light golden brown on top and bottom. You don't want to overbake them and dry them out or burn them. And I'm going to take a little bit of vegan butter and brush some vegan butter on the top of each one of these. Yep, and this is at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. It just doesn't quite fit beside it, so I'm going to put it on the bottom shelf below it. Okay, while we're waiting for those to cook, I'm going to check on the potatoes. I'm going to add some parsley flakes and about a tablespoon of butter. Just use this potato smasher to smash up the potatoes. You can add more liquid if you want them smoother or thinner. Me and my girls like them a little bit thicker, so these look good right about here. All right, now we can check our roast. It's been an hour and 20 minutes, and we've had the biscuits in the oven for about, I'd say, 12 minutes. I'm just checking to see if they're lightly golden brown on the very top and the very bottom. At the same time, we need to remove the aluminum foil from the top of the roast, stick it back in the oven, and then let it cook for another 15-20 minutes. It's been 15-20 minutes now. Check our internal temperature. We want it to be at least 160 degrees. Yep, we're well above that. We're good to go. Let it cool for a few minutes, and now we can go ahead and slice it up. Get ready to plate the food. You can see it has a nice stuffing inside of it. Yeah, this has a nice texture, nice taste. We'll go ahead and plate all of our food. I added some baby carrots, sliced up some celery to the plate. Now we'll go ahead and add our green beans. Scoop our mashed potatoes, our biscuit, our homemade cranberry sauce. You can't forget to add the gravy to the potatoes and the roast. I hope this video helps you. Hope you have a great holiday. There's a final result. Happy Thanksgiving. And for dessert, I bought some vegan non-dairy ice cream and served it with some homemade pumpkin pie. I made a video how to make the pie. Take a look. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and thanks for watching.